Hey, yo, welcome to the Godcast.
I hope y'all are buckled up, because things are about to get weird.
I don't understand why you chose me.
You want to change the world, son. So do I.
Where are we at in terms of history on the timeline? Where are we exactly? I'm just trying to uncover the truth and bring forth what I can see as the truth. The Bible seemed to be predicting more things than any other conspiracy theory type information. Look, one thing's for certain, that there is so much power in the name of Jesus Christ. That I know for sure.
Welcome to Godcast.
Welcome to Godcast.
The Goodness Over Darkness.
The Goodness Over Darkness podcast.
Here is your host.
Here's your host, Emmanuel Kingman.
Emmanuel Kingman.
Welcome to the light.
Welcome to the light.
Welcome to the light.
It's showtime. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Godcast, the Goodness Over Darkness podcast. I am your host, Emmanuel Kingman, and with me for bonus episode number 9.
Is that what number we're on?
Number 9 is Mimi.
Hello.
Hello, my love. How are you?
Nice and relaxed.
Yes. Well, why would that be? Why don't you tell our audience what we just got done doing?
Because I got tanked.
Yeah, we went to a float tank.
Yes.
Yeah, it was Mimi's first time there. Well, my first time at this one. I've done it before. How was it?
It was a little iffy at first.
Yeah.
Like when your eyes are shut and you're in a dark box, essentially, and you open your eyes, it's, you're not quite used to it right away. So it took me a minute.
Yeah. Yeah,
The music was nice. The water was great.
Oh, yeah. The
floating
temperature
was great.
of the water was
perfect. It was
perfect.
just the fact that I was kind of in a dark box, a small one, for a minute that was bothering me.
It wasn't all that small. It was a couple's one. We did it together.
Yeah.
So I've done it twice now. And the first time I did it, it was like the same size, like a room. Imagine doing that by yourself. You're kind of like lost in there. Maybe, I think my room was actually a little bit bigger. I was up in
It's like
Philly.
a hot tub.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like a square hot tub. Yeah, but it's a lot if you're doing it one that big by yourself. You kind of get lost in the sauce, and
1,200 pounds of Epsom salt.
yeah, it's a lot.
That'll float you.
So my takeaway being my second time. So the first time I did it was, I think it was like the day after New Year's 2020, and something like that, like the 2nd or 3rd of January 2020. Me and my buddy did it. We took an edible. We went and did it. We each had our own little room like that, and it was cool. But I was a little more nervous because my experience with the dark and my own psyche was through psychedelics a lot of different times in a short amount of time, like a short period, a few months. And it was because I experienced so many different things, I was a little concerned that I may encounter something that I didn't want to encounter. But now that I'm saved and I know Christ as well as I do, I went in there with no worries at all, and it was much more freeing. And I felt a lot of realignment being done in my spine. The Holy Spirit was moving me around in different ways, and so we were holding hands the entire time because you wanted, it's nice to be anchored to each other, because
Right.
if you're not, then we could have been floating and hitting each other in all different ways, but we were like connected. So that, for whatever reason, that arm never moved, but the rest of my body was moving all around. And I mean, I'm not doing this. The Holy Spirit's just moving me around, realigning me, and all these different ways. It was amazing. It really, it takes a little bit to let go. And as you take in deep breaths, you start to rise a little bit when you have oxygen in you. And then as you exhale, you kind of sink in the water a little bit more. And right in the
Yeah, it
beginning,
would give me the chills a bunch of times.
yeah, right in the beginning, I was doing a lot of breathing exercises, to clear us both out. And we both prayed together beforehand, and made sure, nothing was going to happen. We weren't going to, encounter anything in the astral realm. I did feel a lot of different muscles moving at different times, like something was leaving my body almost. I've heard this in Deliverance. That's what happens. People, you can start to see different things like going over people's bodies and stuff. And I mean, I've felt those types of things before when I've gotten things out of myself, but it was this time, it was almost uh, like Jesus was right there, like bathing me in the spirit. It was just like, okay, we're gonna be very gentle with you, and we're gonna move you this way, move you that way, straighten up your spine. We're gonna help heal your neck, and then we're going to then like toothpaste out of a tube, squeeze it all out, and then you get some muscle, a couple little, pulses in your muscles, if you will, in different spots. So it's interesting. And you got this for us for because we are going to the mountains tomorrow. So this episode will come out. We'll already be in
We'll
the
be in the
mountains.
future.
Yes, yes.
We'll be in the mountains listening to us going to the mountains.
So this will be Christmas Day. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Ta-da. We made
Although,
it.
don't get me started.
Yeah, we're gonna get into Christmas in this episode because it's
We are?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, we're gonna get into Christmas. What?
Okay. And like what, Krampus and stuff?
Hey, if you want to talk about Krampus
I mean,
a
I
little
don't know
bit.
as much as you know, but I just know Christmas is not Christmas anymore.
Well, say that's what we're gonna get into. But before we get into that, let's talk about our vacation a little bit. We're going to go to the mountains for a whole week. We got an Airbnb, but F Airbnb because they
Not F Airbnb.
well, okay,
You could be
so
listening while we're there. Not
I don't care about that. So I had booked this at least 2 months ago, and then after maybe 3 weeks or 4 weeks, one day while I'm recording an interview, Airbnb refunds me my money and kicks me out of their thing, and
No, we talked about this in an episode, I think.
I don't think we did.
Oh, we did.
With who?
I don't remember, but I know that
don't
we did.
remember. I don't think we did.
Guys, back me up and comment in the comment section.
I don't think we did. I think it was
If
off
you've
air.
listened to the episode, put it in there, please. Back me up.
Well, I think it was off
I
air,
need
but
all the memory I can get.
but anyway, they booted me because I have felonies in my past. So they just
Yeah.
after a month, they gave me a full refund. So then Mimi,
Save the day.
well, the woman. So you got a message from Airbnb too, right? When this happened to me, I got the message, and you got another message.
I think you told me it was canceled, and I went on
Mhm.
there and emailed the owners and was like, "What the hell?
Yeah.
Please reconsider. What the hell?"
Oh, you're talking about with Andy the other day. Yeah, we briefly mentioned it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Briefly means we talked about it.
Yeah, but it's just, that after a month I already had it booked. So if I
Yeah.
would have booked it for within that time frame, they would have been okay.
And I wonder how long it takes them to get to your, to decide whether they let you come or not.
Yeah.
Took an awful long time.
Yeah.
Should have been quicker.
Well, yeah, it should. Like that just shows you that
It's fixed.
no one actually cares about the present person you are. It's something I did 7 years ago. The person that I'm no longer resemble even a little bit, it holds me back. But when I was a drug addict, when I was burglarizing pharmacies, there was no government document that said I was a bad person. It doesn't make any sense in this world. You judge someone based on who they were 7 years ago versus who they are, and you don't know who anyone is. So it's difficult, but to have that be the ultimatum, like, oh, you did that, instead of just like, I don't know, saying that I already paid you the money. I mean, what am I going to do? Am I going to stay at the house longer than I'm supposed to? I don't know. But it was messed up. So anyway,
It's all fixed, and we're going to the same place with the same owners and the same people.
and we
we're gonna
got it
have a great
cheaper.
time.
And we got it cheaper, but still, that was messed up that Airbnb did that. So we are going to the mountains. I can't wait. We're leaving tomorrow morning, and then we're going to be there for the entirety of Christmas. This is like your wish come true, like your ultimate vacation, right?
Oh yeah, Christmas in the mountains. Yeah,
Yeah. And my daughter
when
is,
Christmas was Christmas. I mean, I still love a vacation in the mountains any time of day.
yeah, and my daughter's up in the mount, or not in the mountains, up in Pennsylvania now. I just dropped her off up there, and it'll just be the two of us. So
It's nice to live by the beach and be able to travel to the mountains just,
yeah,
quickly and easily. I like being kind of in between both.
yeah. I've never been to the mountains. I've never had a Christmas vacation, so
Oh,
this is
man.
all very exciting for me.
You're going to love it.
I hope so.
You're going to love it.
It's been 80 degrees here.
It's going to
just so
become
everyone
the
knows.
new annual thing.
Well,
Bye-bye oyster roast. Hello, mountains.
well, every day for the last like 5-6 days, it's been like 80 degrees here where we are, and it's so funny that we're going to the mountains for Christmas, and we got all this cold weather gear, but we're like, are we even going to need it now?
I know.
Like all
I
my
won't
birthday
need
presents.
2 pairs of pants, I don't think.
Yeah,
At the same time.
Mimi's a 2 pair of pants.
Yeah, I'm famous for
as
2
soon
pairs
as
of
it's like
pants.
60, she's in 2 pairs of pants.
I get cold now.
Yeah, I know.
You lose all that weight, and then you actually can like feel the weather. It's
So, well,
cold.
I gained muscle, and it made me not as cold. So I lost fat, and I gained muscle, and then now I'm not as cold.
Yeah. Well, I've also lived here a lot longer than you. I think I've
Mhm.
acclimated to Georgia so much so that like the really hot
Yeah.
summers aren't really hot to me anymore. And they used to be like I wouldn't leave the house hot. And now it's kind of the opposite. It's too cold when it's cold instead of it's too hot when it's hot.
Yeah, I don't know about that, folks. She still doesn't want to leave the house when it's too hot.
104. Yeah, nobody
Yeah,
does.
but the summer here is like 10 months long. So when you're wearing shorts all year long, and then all of a sudden it goes from 80 every day to like
I'm wearing capris
40.
today.
Well, yeah, today was nice, but I'm saying like when it started changing, it was colder a few weeks ago. It was a few weeks there where it was in the
Yeah.
40s every night,
Yeah.
and I go out
Broke
to
the
the car.
Snuggie out.
Yeah, we had yeah, I got you a Snuggie for your birthday.
Mhm.
You got me one for a comfy for my birthday,
Mhm.
and I haven't been able to
Kaylee
wear
has one
mine.
on the way, and Maya already has one. Then
Yep.
we'll all have one
Yeah, we'll just be snugging
that we'll never
around.
need.
Yeah, mine's like a hoodie though. It's not like with Maya. Hers goes down past her knees, and it's like this huge thing.
It's
She's
not
like an
long.
Eskimo. Yeah.
It's one size fits all. Sorry,
Yeah.
even the giants.
So, all right. So we are going over Christmas, and I wanted to talk a little bit about Christmas because I feel we're people of Christ, that we talk about Christ often, and Christmas is a very controversial thing these days. That once you start waking up, you start seeing all the symbolism and all the manipulation, and then you come across, basically Satan claws, where then Odin and Krampus and all these different characters, and it's pagan, and it's Nimrod, and it's Osiris, but all of that stems from somewhere. And we also know it's probably not Jesus' birthday for the most part.
That's definitely not.
Yeah. But it could also be the day that Jesus was conceived. If he was born 9 months later on September 11th, then, maybe that's the day, December 25th, that Christ was conceived. Could be. Because, anyway, like I was saying before, what I was going to is that there is a close magnetic energy, an electromagnetic energy that day. And this is why that day is picked by the occultists and the esoteric people doing magic, because there's more energy that day for whatever reason. There is, and what
I think
the
people create that energy.
I don't. When you look at astrotheology, they'll tell you that the sun, the way the sun is, right? It looks like it dies in the sky
Mhm.
on the 22nd, 23rd, 24th. It appears to be in the same spot in the sky at its highest point of those 3 days, and those 3 days are the lowest point in the year where the sun will be. So, and the 25th, it rises 1 degree. So, they'll tell you that it's the electromagnetic frequency from the sun is causing something, that it's at its lowest point or its highest point in the lowest part of the sky. So, it's like hitting its bottom and now it's starting to bounce back up. It's starting to reconcile. So maybe it was the day that Enoch called the reconciliation of the Lord, the day of the reconciliation. That's how they used to talk back in the day. If Earth is a record, well, then it has to be spun back around to start again at January 1st. We have to spin the record back around. We reconcile everything. So I think that day is the day of the Lord. I think this was long before, and all the fallen angels, they knew about it, that it's the day of the Lord. There's something with that day that's being manipulated. Now we can get into a little bit all the different stuff that it could be. We were talking a little bit about Krampus. Do you want to talk a little bit about what you found with Krampus, and I'll go into my
What did I
story?
find?
Well, before we came on, you said you wanted to talk about Krampus.
No, I was just when you said we were going to talk about Christmas, I said what, Krampus? Because that's what we've been talking about.
Well,
kind
why
of
don't you
this
tell
week,
the
or-
people who Krampus is?
I don't. It's the German. You know more. You're asking me to spit out things, and I don't want to be wrong.
Well, that's okay. So Krampus is some guy. I'm not even going to pull anything up. You guys can all pull it up at home if you
It's
like.
gross.
Yeah, it is really gross, and it's disturbing. I mean, if you haven't seen some of the stuff,
It is disturbing if you have kids for Krampus to be like dancing around giving them candy.
well, it's not even giving them candy; it's beating them. It whips them with the chains.
I mean,
Literally.
current day they do the whole candy thing, but I think it's weird.
Current day, they beat their children, and I'm going to get into that in a minute.
Oh man.
Yeah, Krampus beats the children with whips, chains, wooden sticks. They
Uh-oh.
they hurt the kids on purpose. All right, so Krampus, and I know this because okay, I'll say this in a minute. I'll get to that. What I'm going to get to, you already know what I'm going to get to, but so Krampus, if you don't know about Krampus, you should check out Golden Age Productions on YouTube. He does a breakdown of Krampus. It's like a 6-minute video. It's just a brief thing. And he shows that maybe they're depicting Satan being unbound. Krampus is Satan being unbound and loose from the pit. And it's super strange. So I come across that video 2 days after I do energy work with somebody who was from Germany, and what I had seen was, and I was describing this to her, I didn't put 2 and 2 together. I've heard of Krampus before, but I haven't been shown the picture that I then saw later and was told that that's depicting Krampus. So what I had encountered was a black bull slash man, and I kept telling her this, that it was some kind of like black bull slash man that was attached to her, and I was battling him. And it was 2 days later I come across that. I'm like, that's exactly what it is. And I send her the video, and she tells me, oh yeah, we didn't grow up with Santa Claus, we grew up with Krampus. And my parents hired someone to come dressed as Krampus to the house,
What?
and they bang on your door really crazily, and then you let them in, and then they start beating and berating the children. Yeah,
For real?
for real. And it was,
What?
and you guys should see what this thing looks like, what they depict this as. demon
And
type
this is
stuff.
not like a fun pretend
No.
like beating. This is like
No, this
somebody's
is
coming
real.
in and beating your children.
Yes, you get
Okay.
bruised. Yeah.
Why? What is wrong with parents?
Well, that's what she said in the email. She said something to that effect. But Krampus had been attached to this woman. Crazy, crazy. I know, but I didn't even know about this. It's just synchronicity the way that it works out. Especially, it's around Christmas
I
time
feel
right
like I
now.
need to talk to every German person I know.
What, from Germany?
Yeah.
Well,
I need to talk to Granddad about this.
Go ahead. Yeah,
He lived in Germany for a while.
and
I
your
mean,
brother, Josh.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I need to do that.
Pastor
Next
Josh Warner.
family barbecue.
Yeah. So tell us about Krampus.
Yeah. Hey, Granddad. Yeah.
So yeah, it was.
He probably paid Krampus, I would say. No, I'm
Yeah,
just kidding.
he could have. So Krampus, he works with Nicholas, and then it turned into like Saint Nicholas. When I don't know, pagans created it with Catholicism. I don't know. There's a whole thing about it, but it's weird. They come on. Guess what day they come on? December the 6th, which is the day before my birthday. And
Is Saint Nick? I think we used to leave our shoes out in the hallway at school on this day. In Catholic school, you put your shoe out there, and
like
they
fill
would
it
put
with candy.
Yeah, and I think it was Saint Nick. I think it was Saint Nicholas that would come put candy in your shoe.
Yeah, well, I'm
Yeah,
sure
chocolate.
the teachers were acting as Krampus, and they're beating you with the rulers in the classroom.
Well, not my schooling, but my mom's for sure.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, it's just crazy. They started depicting it around like the 400s or something. So maybe it was a real thing. The way that the Germans do their practices, this is like something that really occurred. This is not. This is strange. You guys should watch this. On your own. I'm not putting it up here. You can go find out about Krampus.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah. So and
The
then
pictures are just like ugh.
yeah, and
Make your stomach turn.
like you would think that if there was that devil description or the depiction of being a devil, the way that Satan is pictured as a devil with uh, hooves for feet and horns, that's Krampus. I mean, it's quite literally one and the same. But he's depicted as black, usually not as red. Sometimes he's depicted as red, but it's still that same look. It
I've
looks
seen
like
a
a
lot of
man.
red.
Excuse me. It looks like a man, but it's a bull's body, but it has a man's
Yeah,
face.
it's kind of like a devil looking,
That's where I think the devil
like
probably
what
comes
Lucifer
from.
would change into on Lucifer. It's kind of like that, with big horns.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
But he didn't have horns, Lucifer. He was just had like a.
right. That's why I said, but with big horns.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So we also have like Odin. Odin is like kind of what Santa Claus is supposed to look like with the big white beard from the North Pole, and maybe he was bringing presents around. Maybe
Also, a strange fella.
yeah. Well, when you start looking into Hyperborea, you see that they had pygmies in Hyperborea. Are they the elves that were making the presents? Are they the machine elves that are creating things behind the scenes? That you're getting from DMT and from mushrooms. The red, what's it called, mascara, whatever mushrooms. The famous ones that are red with the white dots all over the top. Is that the red and the white of Santa Claus? There's so many different things that combine to be in Christmas nowadays. You can just pick it what you want.
Christmas tree, the pine cone, the Santa Claus, the sleigh, the magic reindeer, all of it.
Remember the vision I had where I had reindeer where I was being pulled in a chariot of fire by reindeer, but it was like a sleigh, and I was being pulled into the universe as I was chasing the white man on the white horse. I don't know if you remember, it was right around Easter. I saw that's just the dogs growling.
Growling
Yeah.
at something.
We were like, I was in like this black void, and all I saw was white, a white man and a white, uh, on a white horse. So
What about
anyway, yeah, the dogs are fighting because we have another dog here,
It's
and
just their cousin.
yeah, and she's better than them. And no, I'm just kidding. But the one,
She doesn't like anybody near her food bowl,
yeah, nobody's near it.
even if there's nothing in it.
Even if it's a cat that couldn't care less about
Dog food.
dog
Yeah.
food.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, with Odin being in the North Pole, it's very strange. The Hyperborea, you have the elves. I mean, that could be a real thing. One time, it could have been a real thing anyway. But like you were, so I was talking about my vision when, yeah. So we were in a black void, and all I saw was a white man on a white horse, and he like spun around, and like my vision kind of zoomed in on him, and I got a real good look. It had no facial features. It was like a 2D object almost, and it was paper white, and everything else was like paper black, like construction paper black. It was just void of color. And then I kind of followed him into the universe, into the color, and I was being pulled on a chariot. That's just the word that came to me when it was happening, was a chariot, but it kind of felt like a sleigh. Like I felt like Santa Claus almost. And it was reindeer were pulling me in, so it was very strange. I wonder if that's someone else had a similar vision, and that's how they created the image of Santa Claus with flying reindeer. I don't know.
I don't know, but my head said no. I don't know.
I don't
My
know.
head just went no.
I mean, this
I
was
don't know.
something I was observing. This wasn't
Yeah.
like it wasn't something that I was imagining. It wasn't things that I do, like the way that it came in. It was not like a meditation. It was not like an energy work session. It was like an observation of, this is what's happening. I don't know. So when we came into color, it was like this little pinpoint of, like, I guess like every color, but it was just like a swirling, like an oil uh, type of paint drop. And it was just like every color. And then as we got closer in, you could start seeing it became an image. And as we got closer and closer, it was very interesting for sure. Yeah. So anyway, Christmas to me, you used to love Christmas, right? Can you get up on the mic a little bit?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
I can hear you, but the people at home need to
I
hear
do
you.
still love Christmas. I love the energy this time of year, but then I think about the other side of the energy, and I'm confused.
Yeah, so go ahead, talk about your confusion a little bit.
Well, you just never know what your energy is being used for, whether it's good or bad. So, kind of like concerts, they have to get that amped up energy for something.
Yeah.
So, Christmas, there's a huge amp up of energy, but for what reason? Like, what is it being used for? Not for what reason, because we all know why we do that, but what is it really being used for?
Yeah, that's
I don't know. That's where my brain is right now.
Well, that's a good question, and it depends on what energy you're putting into what aspect of it, I believe.
Well, right. You could put your energy into the goodness of Christmas as you know it, but when you don't know it like that anymore, you can't really do that.
Right. You can either spend a lot of money on presents and think like, oh, I'm being a good person. I'm adding joy to the world, which you are doing that somewhat, and buying presents and giving gifts is a joyous festivity. People like to give, they like to receive. It's a swap of energies. It's showing people you care of them.
More of like hey, this is what I want for Christmas. It's not, it's all about getting stuff now, and you're
It can
assuming you're
be.
gonna get stuff, and nobody needs stuff.
Right. Well, it can be that, but it can also be you don't make it that.
Right, right.
Like, we don't have a tree this year.
This
We
is the maybe second year I haven't had a tree.
Yeah, we didn't do the
Thanks,
tree.
2020.
We did a tree last year.
Did we do one? I didn't do
Yeah.
one the year before.
Yeah, so we didn't do a tree this year, but I mean, I'm not
Which was
against.
2020.
I'm not what?
Which was 2020, the year I didn't. Oh no, 2019. Sorry.
Yeah. So, I'm not against getting a tree. We didn't get one. I don't mind it either
But
way.
we're not gonna be here.
Yeah, we're not gonna be here on Christmas. So, I mean, I don't mind it, and I don't think that it's some pagan practice to do that, some evil thing that I'm doing when I'm spreading love and joy, by getting my nieces and nephews and brothers and sister-in-laws and parents some things, and my daughters and, my wife, I don't think that that is some kind of pagan devil worshiping thing. I don't buy that because I spend a lot of time with the Holy Lord, the Holy Spirit, and I contemplate things on a massive level. This is how I come up with these crazy concepts that end up being backed up by my guests. Like, uh, this past week when I had Larry Paul and Adam Stokes. These guys are very studied gentlemen in their fields, and I'm saying some crazy things, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, well I have some kind of research and evidence that supplies some backup
Supports.
information, yes, to that." And it's uh, when that happens, I'm just like, okay, because I'm contemplating things deeply, and I'm like, all right, if this is true, if this
Yeah,
is
and then you
true,
find somebody that can support your theory, and you're like, "Oh, tell me."
right? Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
was on the
same,
right track.
right. So the same thing with the idea of Christmas is I've thought about this in many different ways over many different hours, and I talk to God, and I listen to God, and I ask to for God to remove things. And things have been removed. I no longer participate in Halloween. That's the one holiday that I don't care for the most. Birthdays, I don't care for very much either, but I know people still enjoy it, so I don't want to bring someone down, but I also want to find a balance like we're doing with Christmas. We give stuff to each other all the time. We don't need one
Yeah.
specific day of the year to do it. Now, it is a nice reminder sometimes when that, oh yeah, I should be doing things for my loved ones. I should
All
be
year round.
right, but
Yeah.
sometimes we get a little self-involved because everybody has a lot of stuff going on. So, when we start to act in out of a place of wanting to do for others, then it no longer becomes a chore. Then I no longer need that one time a year reminder. Now I'm acting out of Christ all the time. So when I listen to Christmas music, I love Christmas music, but I don't listen to the Christmas tree stuff. I don't listen to the snowman stuff, the Rudolph stuff, the Santa Claus stuff, the kids stuff. I love the Christmas music about Christ being born. It really touches my heart. When we were just
Sorry.
before our float, we were listening to "Joy to the World." That's about the second coming of Christ. That's His return. It's such a beautiful song. I mean, when you break down all these songs, like Bing Crosby is like the man when it comes to Christmas songs. I love Bing Crosby stuff. Andy Williams is another good one. Josh Groban is also doing good stuff. Lauren Heigl. There's a lot of good artists out there, old time artists or newer artists that do Christ type of Christmas music. And I highly suggest that everybody go listen to their stuff. It is really good. So, to me, there's when you're going down the street, there's a path of right and there's a path of wrong. There's the same store, the equivalent store of right and the equivalent store of wrong. You have the option to do either one. Christmas is no different. There is a right way to celebrate Christmas and there is a wrong way to celebrate Christmas. And if it's based in materialistic stuff, if it's based in a false reality where some fat man with a beard is coming down your chimney and giving presents to your children, and uh, we're doing this because this one time a year I'm going to call Santa if you're not good, and you associate Santa Claus with Jesus Christ, and then the children find out Santa's not real, so Jesus must not be real. Well, then what happens? People fall away from God. So if you're tricking your children and you're doing it out of material want, then to me, that's not the way to do it. To me, it's to give all glory to Christ. And this, what more do we have than when people who don't know Christ at all or barely know Christ, only know Christ from the word Christmas, only know Christ from how people are very cheery around a certain time of year, right? When those people then look to us who call ourselves members of Christ, and if we are saying, no, Christ doesn't exist there, then all of a sudden these people are now lost. You're severing a connection that you have to be able to relate to somebody. You can't be so strict in your ways that you cut people off. Christ wouldn't do that. Christ brings everybody in. He tries to find a way to relate and bring people in. So if this is how they observe Christ, then let's show them who Christ is by being Christ-like in our actions and in ourselves. Let's bring them to Christ. And then once they're here and they're at the doorstep, now we can show them there is a new way, and we could transform the way Christmas is uh, interacted with. We can transform that, but it takes people wanting to work together to come to peace and understanding, not being strict and telling people that this is evil and you shouldn't do this. People are going to do whatever. That's why God gave us free will. It's the thing that people struggle with all the time. Uh, we all have free will, and everyone wants you to be like them. I studied this, and this, so you need to study this, and this. It's like, no, well, that's your path, and congratulations for it, but God's leading me down my path, right? That's just how things go. So I think that there's always a middle ground with everything. I think there's a way you can go through life and present yourself as a Christ-like person, and you can relate to everybody, and you don't have to be argumentative about it. You don't have to be off-putting about it.
Right.
Yeah, so
That's a mouthful.
yeah. So, I guess as we wind down here, this is going to be a short episode. So we just wanted
Bedtime so we can rise time.
we just wanted to give a little goodbye as we journey off to the mountains. When we've returned, so you want to talk a few minutes about
About what we did
no.
while we were there.
About what we're going to do come New Year, doing the Bible study group.
I don't want to
very
say
excited
anything
for that.
about that yet because I feel like we should wait till after the mountains to talk about that. That's all I know. That's all I've been saying, and that's all I'm sticking with.
Okay. I'm just very excited to do the Bible study.
Right. And I'm just saying, I don't want to say anything is going to happen because we don't know.
Well, I don't expect anything to happen, but I just I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
I have had several people reach out to me that are really excited for this, and they're like, "Hey, I want to be part of what you're doing, what you're putting together." I mean, it makes
Yeah.
me feel really good. It really humbles me.
It'll be awesome. I'm just saying the specifics are unknown at this time.
Yeah, I don't know about any specifics. I'm just talking about doing the Bible study as a whole. It's a very I can feel it's like this calling that is occurring, and maybe I've been listening to, which I recommend for everybody, "No Church in a While" by Lecrae and 1K Few, PHEW, 1K, literally the number one, the letter K, then PHEW. It's by those two artists, and it's called No Church in a While, and it's fantastic. And I feel like it's calling me to start, I don't know, bringing Christians to Christ rather than uh, focusing on the outskirts, like maybe turn inwards a little bit and learn Christ through people that have devoted themselves to Christ in a new way. That's what I really like doing, is talking to people like Ken and me, like Gary Wayne, Josh and Jason Monday, all these different people that I talk to. I mean, what the last like 20 some, 30 some episodes have all been people who are, I don't know about lifelong Christians, all of them, but a lot of them have been Christians for a while and have known Christ. So I love learning about Christ through them. Uh, but there's also an indoctrination there that if they could just unsee it from the indoctrination point of view just a little bit, then it can open up so much more for them. And I feel that's where I'm kind of being led to at the moment. So maybe I might go to church. No church in a while, you know. Lecrae says in the one song, I feel like I wouldn't be accepted. That's why I haven't gone in. And he's, I'm just paraphrasing. And he's saying, like, they wouldn't let me in, but I know there's something in me that's telling me they won't let me in. So it's like this, it is a real thing, possibly, because I worship Jesus Christ on a very straight up one to one level rather than uh, the idol worship. And because of that, I'm looked at differently. But there's also, I expect to be looked at differently. Not that I do, but it's kind of like an anticipation feeling. So I'm making it happen, while it's also a partial thing. I'm making it larger because I'm buying into it. So I think maybe me going to church may be a thing that's upcoming. I don't know. We'll see. We'll go around to different religious uh, buildings. Maybe we'll make that a thing. What do you think?
We're going to the mountains to enjoy the mountains this time. We already did. We did St. Augustine. We did. What's the other place we went to? The Guidestones.
Yeah.
We're going to relax. We are not going to answer text messages and, be on social media. We are going to be airplane mode on our phones, using the landline to call our kids, and being with ourselves and the things around us.
Yeah, we're going to have
That's
our
it.
phones in our Sparrow gear bags, and we're not
I
going to
can't
have them
wait
with us.
for a whole week of no interruptions.
No frequencies.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to clear our minds, and we've been doing the zeolite, both of us. We've been taking parasites, all sorts of parasite stuff.
We both love our work and the work that we do, but man,
Yeah. We need to clear
radio
out.
silence is needed
Yeah.
at this time.
Yeah, especially, I guess, this time of year. Yeah, it's a special time of year.
Yeah, I can't be joyous when I'm stressed either. So I need to de-stress to become joyous.
Yeah. But she's been giddy like a little girl the whole week leading up.
I have been excited.
So it's been wonderful. So as you guys already know, when you're listening to this episode, I released the Human Race 3 Entering Christ's Kingdom last night, Christmas Eve night into Christmas morning. Just like Santa Claus is delivering the presents over from Christmas Eve to Christmas Day, I am delivering that as well. So there's that. You can look forward to Adam Stokes tomorrow, the day after Christmas. You can also look forward to Josh and Jason Monday. The three of us got together and did a little gap theory type of work late last night, and you can catch that episode
I
on
was
Wednesday.
asleep for that. Sorry.
Yeah. That's all right. And then the Human Race 4 Breaking Out of the Box. That is going to be out on New Year's Eve night. So I want everybody to have a safe and happy holiday week and well, the two different weeks, I guess. I want everyone to enjoy the love and the peace and the freedom that they have. And remember that it is Christ that has given us all that we have. If Christ never gave us life, we would have none of this. This is the whole of the observation of Christ on a specific day, the reconciliation of our Lord, December 25th. It is what it is. All right. Oh, and I forgot to say that it was 2 years ago, over December 22nd, 23rd, 24th, and then the 25th is when my psychic powers just went from, it was kind of weird for me to, whoa, it's a whole new
Guess
world.
what I was doing that year?
What?
I was riding roller coasters for the first time. So I was going, oh, over. Very weird.
Yeah,
Very weird.
I got broken out of the box in a big way very quickly. I became, whoa.
I understand.
Yeah, my brain
Parallel
became scrambled.
universe over here.
Yeah, so I personally know that day is very, and this time of year is very electromagnetic friendly, if you will. That we have a strong connection to our Creator on that day, on these days. So I look forward to this year. Oh yeah, and we're going to see The Matrix 4. Can't wait to see that.
Oh, and tell them what other movie we're gonna watch, possibly.
Oh, The Eternals. Yeah, so we saw Shang-Chi.
We told you guys that we watched The Eternals, but it was not The Eternals.
Yeah, Mimi called it. She was like, "Well, we never saw the title for it. It turns out it wasn't."
The Fire Stick doesn't get titles sometimes.
Yeah. Tells us it's The Eternals, but it was Shang-Chi, which is another Marvel
Which
superhero.
is a great movie.
Yeah,
Watch it.
Yeah, yeah. And it's the guy from what's the show?
Chung from
Kim's Convenience.
Yes, Kim's Convenience.
Yeah, it's a Christian Koreans in Canada. Listen to that, 3 C's. Well, Korean's a K, but it's the same K sound. But it's a comedy that's not very funny, but Mimi likes that show.
I just watch stuff to put me to sleep sometimes.
Yeah,
it's been an old habit. Old habits are hard to break.
And he's the lead character in Shang-Chi. It's actually a pretty good movie.
Very good movie about like demons being,
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, when you're not watching the movie for like acting skills, when you're watching it for, what's the under message?
Yeah.
What's the message that's trying to be?
And it's going to start out in a different language, but you got to push through. Push through, because I think a lot of people turn this movie off because they think that it's supposed to be in another language. But no, you got to push through that first. What is it? 10 minutes? It's a long time. It's like 20 minutes.
It's like 5 minutes, not even.
It's kind of long because you're like,
it seems long.
Is this what it is?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they start, speaking
English.
It
seems long because you don't know what it is. Yeah, there's no subtitles for it, but whatever.
Yeah, we tried to turn subtitles on.
Yeah, and then whatever.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's how we found that out.
So we'll try to watch The Eternals and The Matrix 4, and we'll come back.
I'm excited for The Matrix 4.
And we'll have a little update, and we'll probably do bonus episode number 10, and we'll talk about our trip.
On our return.
Yeah, and we'll talk about all sorts of stuff.
Maybe for New Year's evening, we'll come live at midnight. Because everybody's not busy at all.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be doing that, but but maybe.
Nah.
All right, everybody. What?
I'll be asleep.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we will be.
We'll see.
So I think that's going to do it for us. Is there anywhere you want our guests to find you? I always say that. Anywhere you want our audience to find you?
My guest today, Georgia Girl Art Paint Parties on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Find us, like us, buy some stuff from us. You could use a door hanger, magnet, an ornament, a canvas, whatever you need.
Yeah.
All shapes, all designs. Check it out.
Check it out.
We ship.
All All right. And for me, my website, emmanuelkingman.com. That is with an I, by the way. I've had a few people hit me up and say it with an E, but it is Immanuel.
Just like it's shown on the screen, guys. Come on.
Yeah, the screen, the description, my website is named, it's immanuel.com. So it is IMMANUEL kingman.com. So why it's with the blah, blah, blah. It's with an I, not an E, is because I man UL as in God, I man UL. That's why I picked this name, kind of. Or not that I picked it.
I
It was
think
picked
coming
for
in
me.
March, you should make another website. It should be pappykingman.com. It should be
Okay.
like grandfatherly advice page.
Well, we're not gonna. I don't even know where that came from, but no, that is
I'm
not going to
stuck
happen.
on
Nobody
so
look
many
that
things
website
coming
up.
up.
Nobody look up that website. That is not my website. I don't know what that is. If it is a website.
It's not yet.
So emmanuelkingman.com. You can hit me up for some energy work and send me an email. Send me a DM on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter. Send me a message through my website. Just go ahead and give us a ring. We love hearing from you. All right. So I think that's going to do it, everybody. Have a safe and Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We will talk to you all later. Bye.
Bye, everybody.